Hi, I'm Harry March of Native Gardens in Green Valley. I want to talk to you about my passion, the Huichol Indians of the Sierra Madre Mountains in Mexico. I met the Huichols about 30 years ago, and I wholesaled their work all over the United States. And in doing that, I met many different Huichol artists, and I got to like them and found out that they were so interesting, and I have so many stories to tell you about them. The Huichols live in Mexico in the Sierra Madre Mountains, and they live in Jalisco, Nayarit, and Zacatecas. Their culture is Christianity and shamanism totally mixed together. When the Franciscans and the Jesuits came over in the 1600s, they tried to transfer them into Christians, but they were so scattered they could not round them all up and transfer them. So they really kept their traditions and their culture alive. And it really helps too with their artwork that I'll explain as we go along. What's interesting about the Huichols is they really don't have a written history. It's verbal, passed down from Huichol to Huichol, and depending upon what area you're in, it can be a slightly different history of what the other people were talking to you about. The Huichol culture is portrayed through their artwork, and they do two different types of artwork, both done more or less the same way. They take beeswax and pine pitch and spread it over whatever they're working on, a very, very thin layer. And then they pick up each bead one at a time and press the beads in one at a time. In the big yarn paintings, you can see that they take the beeswax and pine pitch and spread it over whatever they're going to do the yarn painting on and press each thread in one at a time. All the symbols that you see in their artwork have meaning in their religion. So here's the star. What I'm going to do is probably explain some of the symbols to you, and it's probably easier to do it on the yarn paintings. The deer is a very, very big part of their culture. And basically what happens, you go through the ears or the antlers of the deer, and you do it obviously figuratively, not literally, and that puts you in the spirit world where you can talk to the gods. And so that's what this deer is representing. These little things that look like stars are all full prayers, and so they're each a prayer. This is a magic wand here that is sending the messages to and from the gods, and the shaman over here is the one who has the magic wand that sends the message. This is peyote on the end coming out of the mouth of the deer, again going into the spirit world, and peyote is absolutely sacred to the Huichols. Now here's going to be a bowl that's probably an offering, prayers, and the little gold dots down here, they're individual words. Here's a piece that I have commissioned for the Huichols to bead. It is carved in Tepic, Mexico, and the wood carver is very, very good because this is all one piece of wood that he has to carve to have the iguana, fit on the top of the log. A couple of the different pieces in here. Here is the single-headed eagle, which is a bridge between the real regular life and the gods and humanity. And also here is peyote here, and there's all sorts of peyote going all around here, which is very sacred to the Huichols. And here is this, again, the face of the deer, where you go through the antlers or the ears to get into the spirit world. Peyote all down here, peyote all down there. Anyway, that's a couple of the symbols on this piece here. A lot of my Huichol work, I take the underlying products to the Huichols, and then they do the yarn work and the beadwork on them. This is really interesting. I can show you here. Here is the Virgin of Guadalupe that I buy in Totala in Mexico, and I take it to the Huichols, and then they do the beading on it for me and the yarn work on. And again, the beaded work is done by Greg, and the yarn work is done by Ramon. Working with them for so long, I picked up beading from them. And so I beaded this guy in the center, and that's on a wild turkey wing. Now, I never want to do any of the Huichol symbols because people collect the Huichol art, and if they buy a Huichol piece, they want a Huichol to make it, not me. So I do pictures, but it's the same process, beeswax and pine pitch, and one bead at a time. We have a great variety of Huichol art at Native Gardens in Green Valley, and we're just 100 yards north of Esperanza on La Cañada. And so if you're interested in Huichol, come by and see us.